Hey everybody, this is Rob from DC Primetime and the Caffeine Crew cast of pods, and I'm here to tell you about a couple friends of ours, and that's the fine folks over at BoardGameBento.com. Now, if you're not familiar with who they offer a great loot box experience for you monthly, and what they do is each month, Board Game Bento comes with a themed surprise selection of tabletop games and accessories. The best part, each box comes with at least $80 worth of games, and it's mailed right to your door. Take advantage of a special offer that we're putting on right now from the fine folks at Next Level and Board Game Bento by using the offer code NEXTLEVEL, all one word, at checkout over at BoardGameBento.com. There's never been a better time to start building your board game collection.
Hey, this is Lucky Yates.
Hey there, this is Jimmy Simpson.
Hello, this is Brad Sherwood.
Hi, this is Claire Coffey.
This is Andy Daly. Hey there, this is Kevin Durant.
Hi, I'm Chris Parnell.
Hey, this is TJ Fine.
Hey all, this is David Hoffman.
You are listening to Next Level Radio. Have fun.
It's time for the Showcast. And now, here they are, those pop culture junkies and your hosts, Ben Beck, Adam Gorey, and Steve Richards.
Hey everybody, welcome into the latest episode of the Showcast Spotlight here on the Next Level Podcast Network. I am Adam Gorey, joined by Ben Beck, and we are really excited to speak to Christopher Titus today. He is our guest for this episode because not only will he be coming to town to talk or to perform, he'll be coming to both Philadelphia and Bethlehem area at the end of July, which is July 27th through 29th at Helium, July 30th at Steel Stacks. But I personally was a big fan of his sitcom back in the early 2000s, Titus. So I'd like to welcome on Christopher Titus. Chris, how's it going, man?
Thanks. Good, thanks. That's always fun to go to the early 2000s. Back in 1940, before World War I, Christopher Titus had a TV show. He was amazing. He was funny. It was groundbreaking. And now he's still around. He hasn't died. Here we go, Christopher Titus. Sounds like one of those old radio broadcasts in the early 2000s.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's 2017. That was like, it doesn't feel like that long ago.
It was a while ago.
It was. I know, it's crazy.
I don't feel that much older than that show, honestly. Then again, on the show, I was writing on it. I was starring in it. And I was doing all that promo for it too. So I felt older on the show. It's weird if you look at how I looked at Norman Rockwell's Bleeding, which is like right after the show is done, and then go look at the last special. I actually look younger than I did because they were just killing me. Fox was sucking the life out of me, man.
That was one thing. I mean, like, look, I was 13 when that thing came out, but I still watched it. Credit that to good parenting. But
right?
You know, what was that like? Because you know, it's tough to get your own sitcom. I know it seems like a lot of comedians end up having it at some point, but what was that like? Kind of, and for 3 seasons too. I mean, it wasn't like a one and done.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked recently. It's interesting how the business works. Like Gerard Carmichael just lost his show, and I was like shocked at that because it was so. The same thing as Titus was. It was highly rated. It was kind of groundbreaking in some ways. And then, like the network. At the end of the day, man, and someone said this a long time ago. Television just eats. Television doesn't care. It doesn't. If you know, I mean, come on. They had a show where there was the Fall Guy. Where it was a stuntman who solved crimes. Come on, man. There's been so much crap on TV, and they don't care. They don't care if it's good or if it's crap. And I think people have this weird. Just what I've been involved with, if it's all they care if it's popular. It could be as all the housewife shows show. They don't care if you're groundbreaking or changing people's minds. They look at those numbers at the end of the week, and for me it was. I sold the show because I wanted to do something different. I hated sitcoms. To this day, I hate sitcoms. I hate bad sitcoms. You know, everything kind of opened up after Titus and Malcolm, but. The talking to the camera thing and using the black and white and, making it, we filmed it on one set. So we did so much different stuff. I think at one point Fox was just like, what the hell are these guys? I don't think they had any concept of what we were up to. I mean, when you walk into a network and you go, hey, we want to do an episode where we get my father who stopped drinking to start drinking again because now he's really an asshole. And they're like, wait. They go, what? Yeah, we want to have an intervention to get him drinking again. They were just like, what What is wrong with you guys? And then we did an AIDS episode where my dad tricked me into thinking I had contracted HIV. We did a molestation episode where my niece had been molested, and Titus goes after the dude with a bat in the school bathroom. Like, we were doing stuff on the show that if you break it down, my dad had a heart attack on the show and died, and then we brought him back to life. And as he's going towards the pearly gates, they shut all the lights off. Like we're in this weird. They shut the lights off, and they're like, and so we're pitching. Here's when I talk about networks not caring about art. They really don't. There's one guy that does. There's a guy named John Landgraf over at FX, and he's really good. He actually cares. He's the guy who okayed Louis and stuff. He kind of cares. So we're doing this episode, and we're worried about it because basically Stacey Keach dies based on a true story that happened with my dad and I. We went to the Bahamas. I took my dad to the Bahamas. He had like 3 heart attacks, and I wanted to hang out with him, and he didn't want to hang out with me. He just wanted to gamble. So my wife goes, go gamble with him. So I gamble with him, and literally 2 hands, my dad goes, get away from me, you're bad luck. So that's the true story. So we based the whole episode on that. And in the episode, I said, he starts winning, because my dad really won that night. After I walked away, he came up with a wad. He's like, look what I did. So what we did was we wrote the episode. That was the true story. The real story, the fake story, the sitcom story was, in the middle of winning, my dad's arm goes numb, and he's on a winning streak, so he won't go to the medics. He's actually having a heart attack and continues to play poker. And we're trying to get him off the table, which is making him mad, which is making it worse. He finally has a heart attack, falls off the table, lays there, dies. We go into the pearly gates, and we're all freaked out because it's Christian imagery, and it was Fox, and so we're panicking. I'm like, I go, they're going to pull this entire thing. I go, you watch, guys, they're going to kill this episode. So we're all stressed. We go to they see the run through. We go to the little review of it with the network, and they go, and this is how networks work. The current guy was a guy named Tony Octagon, which is sound like your parents shouldn't name you after a Bond villain. And he goes, I want to talk to you about the casino scene. I said, okay, here it comes. And he goes, Cynthia Watros is in the scene. And he goes, it's in the Bahamas, right? And I go, yeah. And he goes, is Cynthia Watros going to be wearing a bikini? And I went, what? And he goes, because we want to get the tiniest bikini that's acceptable by standards. So I'd like to see the bikini. We need to approve the bikini. And I go, wait, do you really care about we just killed a major character and sent him into the light? And they're like, no, it's all right. Does he survive at the end? Like, they hadn't even, I'm like, yeah, we revive him. Okay. All they cared about was how much of Cynthia's titties are we going to show? And is it going to be enough to keep the numbers up? So at one point, and I'm just getting this talking to you guys, people say, you're going to do another TV show? And I said, yeah, I would, but I want to do something with Billy Gardell. Billy Gardell's a friend of mine. Him and I, whenever we're in something together, we're ridiculously funny together. So I'm working on an idea for that. But TV is so, man, it's just, I don't know. They really don't care if it's artistic. They just care if it's going to bring the numbers. So, and the only way to save your soul is to make sure that it's good. So Titus, I just kept going as far as we could go, man. We did, how many episodes? We did 54 episodes. We did episodes about pretty much everything. We did an episode where my dad and I started telling, my girlfriend wanted us to get along, so she told each of us that the other one had bone cancer. So we're in this truck talking about cancer for half an hour, except neither one of us has cancer. And it was, I'm proud of the show, man. I got to be honest. I'm really proud of the show. I wish in the meeting with the third network president that we had in 3 years that I had just shut the fuck up. I had just done that with it. But, she wanted to change the show anyway, and I guess maybe if they should change the show, it wouldn't have been as fun to do. But, I'd have a plane. I'd have an airplane right now. So there's the difference.
To this day, my dad and I will still go, Doom Buggies, woohoo! That is, by far one of my favorite episodes.
I actually when the show got out, I found an old Myers Manx, and I restored it, and I have it for my kids.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
So the show, the show was the show. It's something I'm real proud of. It's still, the crazy thing about the show is it didn't end up in the discount bin at Walmart. To buy it, it's like $80 to $100.
Yeah,
for the box set.
Oh my
And
god!
at Christmas, like it went like a couple years ago, it was $250. I was like, oh, I don't get that money, but at least what we did, because we had an amazing crew. What we did actually kind of stood the test of time. It's been 17 years, and people are still paying $100 worth.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, and Fox was relatively known for, it's a network that we've built especially like FX and stuff. We have a good relationship with them, but I mean, Fox is well known for cutting shows short. Yeah. So I mean, unfortunately, that was one of the ones that was susceptible to that. But I want to go back because you mentioned both Billy Gardell, and Cynthia Watros, who this is a good opportunity to talk about Special Unit because they're both in Special Unit with you.
I used every favor I could and every little bit of friendship. Everything I could. They are. I wrote Special Unit. We did a pilot for Comedy Central in 2006, and it didn't go. It's online now. You can still see it. And I wrote that script, and Bryan Cranston, of all people, directed it. And the network was like, they were just scared to death of it. They were just scared. I mean, come on. I mean, for people that don't know, the whole premise of the movie is, due to the Fairness and Disabilities Act, the LAPD has to hire 4 handicapped undercover detectives, and I'm Nick Nolte's mugshot. I'm by far the worst cop in LA, and I'm a loser alcoholic who calls them retards. And then even Comedy Central, which runs South Park, is like, yeah, we don't think so. But it took them. The weird thing is, it took them 8 months to say no. They knew there was something there, and they kept saying, yes, and then they would say no, and they would say yes, and they would say no. It was really kind of schizophrenic of them for a while. They finally said no, and here's the weirdest story about the pilot. About 3-4 months after they said no, again, really disappointed, because I have a lot of friends who are disabled. I wanted to do it for them, and so we go to, I'm in Starbucks one day, and because you know how network, again, this is how networks work. This is why TV scares me a little bit. Basically, networks, when they do a show, they finish the show, and instead of someone smart going, this is a good show, let's run it, they go, I don't know if it's a good show, and I don't want to take responsibility. Let's go hire 35 people, pay them $55 from off the street, let them sit in a room, watch it, and let's hear what they think.
Yeah.
So that's how TV works. By the way, if that worked, every show would still be on. They'd still be running Bonanza, but it doesn't. Testing doesn't work. So anyway. Yeah. So I'm in. One of the notes on the pilot was someone didn't like the guy with the stutter. They said, if you think he stutters too much, it bothers me a little bit, blah, blah, blah. That was a note they gave me. And I was like, well, that's part of the funny. He's a Sherlock Holmes genius who can't get out what he sees. That's the whole funny part of it. Frustration is funny. Anyway, so whatever. I'm in Starbucks, and I get my drink, and I'm standing at the station where they hand me the drink, and the woman goes, oh, my God. And I was like, oh, great. And I go, how did you see it? She goes, they paid us to go in this room and watch it, and we had to give notes on it. And I said, oh, you're in the test group. She goes, yeah, I really didn't like the guy with the stutter. And then she goes, here's your latte. I was like, really? Is that how it works? The person, my barista made a decision on my television show. So at that point, you start going, I wonder how big of a bullet would it take to put in my brain to kill me, because that's so frustrating.
That is crazy.
So that's why, yeah, it is kind of nuts. So that's come 10 years later. And I've been telling Michael Aronin, who's in the movie, he's got cerebral palsy, and then Deborah Carrington, who's a little person, and that we're doing this movie. Well, I've just got to get it done. I got to figure it out. So I started the company, Combustion Films, and I rewrote the script, and I had script for a couple years, and I'd been talking. You know when you say you're going to do something, and you even know deep down you're really not going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? Where you lie. Yep. I call it lying to yourself. Like lying to myself. But I kept telling everybody I was going to do it. I'll find a way. I'll find a way. And in my heart, I wanted to do it. I was down in this happened twice. I was in a mall, and there was this people walking, and all of a sudden I see the crowd in front of me parting. And as they're parting, this dude in a wheelchair comes by, and he's wearing gloves, and he's like the high performance wheelchair guy, and he's got the cool wheelchair, but he's looking at the ground, and nobody's looking at him. And it was weird. I got something in that moment, and I noticed that nobody would look at the guy. And people aren't mean. I know why people do it. They've been told their whole lives, don't stare, don't bother them, don't make them feel weird. So instead, what people do is they look away totally. Which now you're living in a world with nobody. You're not even alive. No one even acknowledges your existence.
Mm-hmm.
So as the dude rolled past me, I go, "How's it going, brother?" And the dude looked up, and then he looked around, And then he looked back at me and goes, hey. Like he was shocked that someone talked to him.
Yeah.
And then that happened once, and I kind of got a different insight into what it means to be disabled. And then I was in San Diego, same thing. Crossing the street, woman across the street, she was missing a leg, she was in a wheelchair. She had that weird flesh-covered sock over her stump, and she was wearing a flowered dress. God, it's vivid. And she had her purse in her lap, and she was looking down at the ground. And the light turned green, and she didn't move. And I crossed the street from the other side. As I passed her, I said, how's your day going, kid? And this woman looks up at me, and she doesn't say hi. She says, thank you. And I was kind of stunned. She was happy that I acknowledged she was on the planet Earth. And I kind of, that was the day I decided that no matter what I have to do, if my kids have to be sold to a rich Russian family, whatever it takes, I'm going to get this movie made. And so now it's made, and it's coming out October 11th.
Yeah, that's great. And I know when we watched the trailer for it, Adam and I were talking about it. It reminded us a little bit of, I don't know if you've ever seen the movie The Ringer with Johnny Knoxville. Where it's one of those things that as long as you're putting a positive light on what these people can actually accomplish, there's nothing wrong with a little humor behind this.
Yeah, it's funny you bring up that, because The Ringer, so here's the weirdest story about the movie. One night, we're getting ready we're like 2 months away from shooting it. We've already started pre-production. And my phone lights up one day and it says, hey, it's Peter Farrelly. Can you call me? I don't know Peter Farrelly. Like, Peter Farrelly, Brothers Farrelly? And my wife was standing across the counter and I go, Peter Farrelly just texted me. And she goes, why are you whispering? He can't hear you. Because it was weird. And I found out that Mike Ronan, who knew Jackie Flynn, who's in the movie, and Jackie had already been cast, they had a screener of the original pilot, sent it to Peter Farrelly. Peter Farrelly watched it, found out we were doing a movie, called and wanted to talk to me about the script. So Peter Farrelly goes, can I see the script? And I said, hell yeah. Again, as much as I hate network executives, and here's why I hate network executives, none of them have ever told a joke. None of them have ever done 1,000 shows in front of an audience. None of them have written a script. None of them got an audience to laugh. So how the hell are you giving me advice? On the other hand, Peter Farrelly has done some of my top 5 funniest movies of all time. Kingpin still kills me.
Oh God, I love that movie.
So you want to hear the funny thing they did, and I talked to him about it. Kingpin, I was on an airplane once watching it, and in airplanes they used to have to expurgate the movies. You couldn't swear, because they would show them on the screen above them just before they had a screen in every seat.
Yeah.
So Peter and Bobby Farrelly, they replaced every swear word in Kingpin with the word sandwich. So every time somebody, and it was deadpan. I'm in the plane and I'm hysterically laughing because he goes, "You mother sandwich." So anyway, I sent Farrelly the script. He says, "I love the script. Can I give you notes?" And I said, "Sure." I was in Denver. He calls me around noon. I'm ready. Got my computer. I'm gonna take notes on the script. He's gonna give me jokes. I'm getting jokes from the master. That's what I'm thinking. Peter Farrelly then proceeds to blowtorch my script like no executive has ever done in my life. He basically tore up 80 pages of the script, and I had to start over. And here's the weird thing, is because he did that, and I could have got an attitude. My old Titus would have said, like, dude, F you, I know what this is, but it was Peter Farrelly. Peter Farrelly said it, and I said, okay, and I basically threw out 80 pages and had to start over.
Was it constructive criticism, or was he genuinely?
No, he didn't. He was great. He's the nicest guy in the world.
Okay,
He's great. As a matter of fact, he wasn't mean about it at all. There was one note he gave me, because when I first wrote the script, it was much more Austin Powers. It was much more wild, crazy. Even the bad guys were. What I did was I tried to write a movie where I could put as many disabled actors in it as possible. And so even the bad guys were disabled. It was like this guy in a wheelchair, this kind of Stephen Hawking genius who was psychotic, and he only hired disabled people, and he was trying to make all buildings convenient. It was just it was a big, crazy, weird Austin Power-esque kind of villain story. And Peter comes to me and he goes, "So you're trying to point out that these people are cops, and because they're cops, they can do the same thing as regular cops do?" And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "Then how come they can only take down disabled bad guys?" And it was one of those notes that blew out. It just literally took the entire thread of the script and ripped it apart. So I had to rewrite 80 pages of it. And without him doing that, and what ended up happening was the movie ended up way more real. It ended up way more grounded and way more real. And because of that, it's way funnier. And Peter Farrelly, so then he goes, so I finished that script, I sent it to him, and he goes, I love this. Can I give you notes? And I was like, oh, God, oh, no, oh, no. I literally started to panic. I broke out in hives. I'm like, oh, God, I don't want any more notes. And my pre-production guys, are flipping out because if I have to rewrite it again, we don't have the set. We're going to shoot in a couple weeks. So He calls me, I set up the next day. I called me at noon, and he goes, all right, man, page 66. And I goes, I got a joke here. Page 74, got a joke here. Page 80, got a joke here. Great job. And I asked him, I go, hey, I don't know why you're doing this because you and I don't know each other. I've still never met him. I've only talked to him on the phone. I said, but why are you doing this? And he goes, because we got it wrong in The Ringer. He goes, we got it wrong. And he goes, I took a lot of heat for that movie. And he said, when I saw the pilot, I thought you are closest that I've ever seen to getting this right.
Oh, wow.
And so and I said, do you want to be a producer or anything? He goes, no. I goes, I just wanted to help you get it right.
Oh, wow. I
hope we did.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's a pretty stand-up thing for him to come out and do, too. I mean, especially having never met you before or anything like that, and didn't want any credit for it, which is amazing.
Yeah, because I think he knows that we're going to get a lot of shit for this movie.
Yeah, especially nowadays.
Well, but I mean, like I said, comparing it to The Ringer, like I know there was a lot of people that might have given that movie shit as well, but that's personally, like, I love that movie, and it's not because of the fact that it's humor against handicaps or anything like that. But again, it's one of those things that it shines a positive light on these people. So there's nothing wrong with that humor as long as you're actually shining positively on them.
Yeah, it's well placed.
Yeah, disabled people won't be pissed about the movie. They'll be like, hell yeah. It's the people that think they represent disabled people out of it.
Yes.
It'll be the PC squad, which is really just like the thought police, which I think I'm fairly liberal in a lot of things and conservative in some things, but I think at the end of the day, you're wasting, like my character uses the word retard all the time, and there's a scene in the credits at the end where where he stops using it and ends it, and someone else who uses it gets trashed. He never used it. I just think this: the only way you can make a difference. I could have written a movie where there was a bunch of sage Yodas in wheelchairs, or some guy with some real insight because he's had a hard life because of his CP. But those movies are Hallmark movies, and they don't change your mind. I wanted to write this movie for all those fucking douchebags that use the word retard and say it with anger and say it with mean and think those people are less than. Because this movie, there's some wild shit in it, and those people are going to watch this movie thinking that's what they're going to get.
Yeah.
And once we, preaching to the choir is easy. I want to get the guys that treat disabled people badly and watch this movie, laugh their ass off, and go, "Holy shit, I fucked, I went wrong." Wow, I never thought of it like that. That's the only reason you do it. And so. Someone said something recently. They said, don't do a movie unless you have passion for it. Don't just do a movie. Do a movie because you have passion for it. And this is something, like my buddy Mike, if you guys go to, and anybody listen, if you go to my YouTube channel, Christopher Titus TV, go to the word retard. It's a story about Mike and I at a restaurant where the waitress, just because he's got CP, which is not a degenerative disease and it doesn't affect his brain, she thought he was so disabled that she thought he didn't understand English and couldn't speak. So she started asking me, you got to watch the bit, because Mike trashed the restaurant. He fucking trashed the restaurant. You got to watch it.
Yeah,
and then I'm on the new tour.
Yeah, we'll have to link it. We'll link it in the... We have ways that we can link it in the podcast description, so we'll have to make sure we do that for sure.
And the movie comes out October 11th. We want everybody to watch it because we're doing it on our own. We finally got a distribution deal with some company. I don't know if we're going to take it or we're going to release it ourselves. And a lot of people are scared. They think the movie's funny. They're like, this movie's really funny. It's really good. Like, are you guys going to release it? There's no way my company could release it. They're like, you say retard like 35 times in it. You call them wobblies. I go, I know, but at the end they're like part of my crew, and I stand up to the mayor for them. Yeah. But it's getting to that point. It's like everyone has everyone's so worried about what the world is going to say, and I'm not. I actually want people to get pissed. I want them to laugh their ass off, and I want some people to get pissed. if I don't piss off some people, whether it's stand-up comedy or this movie or a TV show, if I don't make somebody angry, 1%, then I didn't write hard enough. Then I didn't push it far enough.
Yeah.
What's the point of just the same old bullshit, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Trust
exactly.
me, nowadays, I have a feeling you will have no problem pissing at least one person off. So I feel like everything that happens pisses somebody off. But hey, before we let you get going, you're coming to town to do your tour, which is it's based off your latest special, right? Amerigeddon.
Amerigeddon, yeah, Amerigeddon. People said, Titus, don't comics even say, dude, don't do politics. I'm like, I can't. I'm not that guy. I can't just decide I'm going to do it. Either it comes to me or it doesn't. And as this election went on, this election pissed me off. I can't believe that we were fighting over these idiots. I mean, half of us wanted this arrogant pantsuit-wearing robot. I call her She-3PO. Kelly was just like, and what the hell were those square jackets she was wearing? Who was her fashion? Was she running as Lego Hillary? What the hell was that?
I never even thought of that before.
That's so great.
Oh,
Somebody
I
should
love
make
that.
a movie. Lego should make a movie. Lego Hillary.
And the other half wanted this arrogant, delusional, corn dog colored rodeo clown, and that's what that's why we were pissed at each other, and so families were getting hating each other, and I wanted to kind of. The thing about the show is that I wrote it, and a lot of it was because Trump is so easy to trash. He's so easy to go after, especially if any comic worth of salt could just do an hour on that alone. The problem with that is then you lose half the audience. So when I wrote the show, I broke it in Alabama. Oh, I didn't mean to. I just didn't check where I was going. So I wrote this whole show about kind of anti-Trump, and then because they haven't been doing this 30 years. So on Wednesday I go, where am I going tomorrow? And they go, Alabama. I was like, oh shit, oh no. and then I thought, well, I could just do my old show, Born to Defect, and I thought, no, that's not who I am. I don't puss out like that. So I went to Alabama. And I get to Birmingham okay with it. I went to Birmingham first, I was actually reading the jokes off the paper, which I think that's why I got over, because they were shocked that I could read. They were like, he looked at the paper, and then it says what it says. It's magic. So I get through that one, and then I went to Huntsville. And Huntsville's a weird town, man, because it's rocket scientists and rednecks, because they're all that space up there. So you get people in Huntsville that are like, yeah, we figured out to orbit Alpha Centauri for the next 1,500 years, and my mama makes a damn good cornbread. So I'm doing it there, and this is when I got what the show is about. The show's not about Trump, and it's not about politics, right or left. It's about bringing America together, reminding us that we are not us and them. We're not Democrats, Republicans. We are we. We are Americans. That's it. That was the entire point of the show. But I didn't get it till this night. And here's how comedy heals. So I'm doing the show, and everyone's laughing, and there's this one table though that's pissed. There's 8 of them there, and they look like they swamp boated in. Man, these people, I swear to God, these people look like a couple of them had gator recipes on them. Literally, you want fried gator? I can make fried gator. So. And I'm not exaggerating. One dude's got a full-on Uncle Jesse from Dukes of Hazzard beard, and I keep calling him Duck Dynasty the whole show. I keep just calling him Duck Dynasty, which the audience laughs at. He doesn't laugh at, but I think it's because he thinks I'm complimenting him. Then you got the dude next to him. The dude next to him is literally wearing a red, white, and blue jersey that says 45 on the back, and at the top it says Trump. And I'm doing this show. There's a joke I do in the show. I talk about how ridiculous we were all reacting to Hillary. Because he said, I just couldn't vote for Hillary. I go, why? She's the most qualified we ever had with her government service. I just couldn't vote. I didn't like her. And I was like, well, I don't like my plumber either, but my house doesn't smell like shit because of him. but my plumber's kind of a prick. He really is. So here's what happened. So I'm doing this. So one of the jokes is I said, and I don't want no woman either. I don't care. And the joke is this: we didn't want a vagina in the White House, so we voted for the other side of the taint.
The best part is that's 100% true.
It is. It's all true.
That's a solid joke, right?
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
That joke. These people who have been pissed the whole show. The dude with the beard goes, "Huh, all right, goddamn it, that's funny." I'm like, yes, comedy heals. So the show. If you're hardcore right wing and you think I'm just going to trash Trump, there's a little bit of it, but I go after everybody. I do a couple Obama jokes because he gave back Iraq. After we spent $3 trillion, he just gave it back. What was Obama thinking? Well, let's get out, guys. Hey, can we leave Paul Blart here? Somebody, maybe a yard lady with a gun? Shouldn't we just watch this? Well, no, people are fine. Don't worry. These people in the Middle East, they've worked everything out for 5,000 years. They get along great. We'll just let it go.
Yeah, right.
Fuck.
Oh my! That should totally be a Paul Blart sequel. It's got to be Paul Blart Part 3. Really, it should.
Paul Blart in Mosul.
love it.
The funny thing about that is that I found I'm independent 100%, and I talk about that in the show. But I found that because Trump is kind of blowing it really on a daily basis. I don't know how you fuck up 185 times in 160 days. It's pretty crazy. The only people happy are Charlie Sheen and Lindsay Lohan. So the Republicans, though, what I'm finding is the conservatives are laughing at the Trump jokes, but I do that one Obama piece, and the liberals lock up, dude. It's crazy. And I have to stop and lecture them. I go, listen, I've had conservatives laughing at their guy all night. If you guys can't laugh at Obama, you guys are the ones with the problem. And it kind of flips the whole show for a second. It's a trip how everybody holds on to their bullshit,
Yeah. I mean,
awesome.
and I'm like you. I'm an independent too. I felt
that's three of us.
I felt this. I felt the same way, that we were kind of screwed no matter which way we voted, even though I did vote for Obama before. But if I'm at your show, and I actually do plan on coming to one of your shows at Helium, if I'm at your show, if a joke is funny, I don't care if it's for the person I voted for or against the person I voted for. If a joke is funny, I'm gonna laugh.
Right. This show took a different turn after Alabama, though, because I went Alabama, North Carolina, Texas, and it really made me. My job as a comedian is not to piss off a segment. It's to challenge them, but also get them to laugh at it. Because if they laugh at it, it's acceptance. My job as a comic has never been to, fuck these guys. I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
I don't mind making them lean in what the fuck is he saying? I don't mind starting to piss them off. That's what I did with Arm the Children. Arm the Children, what I wanted to do is the liberals were fucking Arm the Children. And then they started to realize I was making fun of it, and it switched because the conservatives thought I was on their side. The liberals at the beginning, thought I was not on their side, and then by the end of the bit, I totally flip it, and it just pissed everybody off, and that's perfect. If I can piss everybody off, that's good. But I don't want to selectively piss people off. I want to make sure that everybody goes a little bit angry. So I figured out that this show I had to write this show to make everybody. Because the point is, look, at the end, there's a bit I wrote in the show called They, We, Them. They run shit. They've always run shit. They're the ones who crashed the economy. They're the ones who started the wars. I mean, you guys never started a war, right? Any of you guys crashed the economy?
Not that I know of.
No.
Yeah. All right. See, I like that. There's a question mark though. Maybe. I don't know what I was doing. So I talk about they, and then they made everyone believe it's us and them instead of we. And whenever we turn on they, whenever we get together as a country and turn on they to fix things, they always invent a new them. Like right now, we are all worried about a little fat Asian North Korean them who's supposedly going to nuke us. Well, I got to be honest. Are you guys afraid of North Korea? Because I can throw a frisbee farther than North Korea can launch a fucking missile.
I don't lose any sleep over it. So
no.
The thing is that we're all afraid. They always invent a new them. Like we're supposed to be afraid of Syria too, but Syria's been fighting a group of people who are holding them down, and they're fighting out of Toyota pickup trucks. So are we really two rednecks from Tennessee with tanks would fuck that whole country up? So it's all bullshit. And I was trying to. I think Carlin and Robin Williams are both heroes of mine, and they would always have no problem diving into this stuff. So I'm trying to do it in a way that just doesn't try to do it smart, but also accessible, and just make my points, man. I don't know. It's a funny show. I got 2 standing ovations in the last 2 weeks. 3 standing ovations,
awesome.
actually. I just did New Orleans. I did Louisiana, and I got a standing ovation, which means I really nailed it. Like I'm doing the Jedi mind trick on these rednecks. It's great.
Yeah.
Well, you're coming to town, like Ben said, Helium, July 27th through 29th, and again, Steel Stacks, which is in Bethlehem, July 30th. So we'll definitely keep our eye out for that because that's coming up in a couple weeks here, right around the corner. And then
both great rooms, by the way. I don't know if you've played either Helium or Steel Stacks before.
Yeah, they are.
They're both great rooms.
I love Helium. Helium's got that thing, that low ceiling, so it's like it's what I imagined comedy was in the '60s, where the laughter just kind of rolls from the back on you. It's great. I love it.
Yeah.
And Steel Sax is good too. We've seen a show or two there, and it's a newer, somewhat newer. Last several years. I don't think they've been around as long as Helium, but it's an absolutely great venue.
Good, man. Well, thanks for telling me that, man. My East Coast. The thing about the East Coast is really funny to me is that those people, you guys don't take a whole lot of bullshit. Like, if comedy's great, you guys are the most loyal audience. If it ain't, if some comics half-assing it, you guys shut down like I've never seen. It's great. Polite is not your forte. Let's just leave it there.
No, especially not in the Philadelphia area. Not at all.
Never claimed to be either. Yeah. But
I'm proud of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. Everyone listening can also follow you on Twitter at Titus Nation, and then ChristopherTitus.com. I believe I saw most, if not all, of your past specials are on there, right?
Yeah, you can actually get them, and they're all HD. They're actually higher quality than the DVDs. If you go to ChristopherTitus.com, and they're all like an hour, and out between an hour and 30 and an hour and 45 minutes. And the newest one, Born with a Defect, which I did last year, is probably one of my best. Comedy Central didn't like it because it was about kids, but it's as I said in the show, if you're a parent, it's therapy. If you don't have kids, it's 90 minutes of birth roll.
That's awesome.
I love it.
Hard story. That's a hard story there.
And then also people can check out your podcast. You have a podcast as well, Titus Podcast. So
Titus Podcast doing real well. We're almost at 6 million downloads. Yeah, we're doing really well.
That is awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Well, hey, we wish you the best of luck, and we really appreciate you spending some time with us. And we'll have to get you back on sometime, maybe closer to October when the movie comes out.
Please let me call back in October and horror the movie again.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, because we still got, we absolutely could fill easily another hour with you. So we'll definitely have to have you back on for sure.
The good news about me is I don't know how to shut up. So thanks, guys.
No, it's fine.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for listening to the Showcast. Make sure you check out nextlevelradioonline.com for the other podcasts on the network. And we will see you next time.